What do you get when you release a game 1 year after the original game? And where it's just the same game, but with a bunch more levels. You get a fantastic sequel that came out 1 year, and Doom 2 is an example of that. So this game takes place exactly where the first one left off, and the plot of the game apparently is Doom Guy, after stopping the demons of space in the space station, the demons have transported from hell to Earth now, and now they're transporting humans away from the Earth for the survival of the human race. And this is Doom Guy's mission. The gameplay is pretty much the same. You collect keys to open doors, you shoot enemies, you look for power-ups, and it's pretty much it. Like, there's not really much to say, but because if I was just doing a review of the whole game, I'd be just repeating some stuff. But there will be some stuff I didn't mention in the first game review, and I'll also be showing you what's new in this game. For starters, all the guns in the first game are back, and there's only one new gun, double-barrel shotgun. And this is a really powerful weapon. The majority of the same enemy types are back, and there are some new enemies, like this one, this demon. I don't know what it's called, but this one, like, it lights you on fire and fires fire at you. And when you catch on fire, like what you just saw, you're not taking damage until he shoots at you. That's when you gotta run. And these enemies can take a lot, and I mean a lot of hits, so they did add some really challenging enemies in this game. Then there's these new one-eyed monsters that don't fire stuff at you, but fire these skull things from the previous game, and these things can be really annoying. Like, when you're fighting, they'll just spawn more in once you shoot them, and they can take a lot of hits. Then there's the spider demon that's basically like a boss from the first game in one of the episodes, and fires machine guns at you. And then there's these, I have no idea what these are called. Keep in mind, I never played this game before until this year, especially the first one, but these enemies are tough. Like, they're easy to avoid, but when you're fighting them and you're really close to them, their rockets will shoot you. They're basically firing rockets like the guns you find in the game that you can use. And these things, don't underestimate these things. They may be slow, but you really gotta be careful fighting them. There's also these things, these skeleton, I guess, things. I've seen these enemies in Doom 2016 when I rented it, and these things fire rockets at you, and these things can be really dangerous, the way they fire and how fast their missiles are. Make sure you have the right gun and lots of ammo to take these down. And now there's these dangerous machine gun enemies that give you machine gun ammo, it's like shotgun soldiers. So these things can be pretty tough, so be careful. The levels in Doom are really, really good in this game, and improved. Doom 1 is an example of classic levels of shooting through, blasting through. Doom 2 takes it to a whole new level. Especially in detail, like, there's times that makes the game more of a challenge. Whenever there's a power pickup, you're always expecting a trap, which makes the game epic as hell. Like you don't know what's it's like you know there's gonna be an enemy, but you don't know what type of enemy there is. Especially look at this, like, this makes the game a bit difficult, making it hard to see, and right there's an enemy shooting green stuff at me. This game is non-stop action, and sometimes there's numerous types of enemies. Unlike the first game, there's levels with tons of enemies in it. Like, I mean, like up to 50 enemies. Like, I'm not gonna count them all, but the action is just non-stop in this game. Like, it's so fun with the new enemy types that they added in this game. One thing I forgot to mention at first is that you can get enemies to kill each other and you get them to hit each other, which is pretty useful, which you want to take advantage. In Webbles, in this game, you'll be running around and having to jump to areas, which gives this game a really good Webble base. There's also times where you gotta walk carefully, which I really like this, where you gotta be really careful. And times where you gotta run through Wabba and make sure you press the X button quick. There's also a ton of secrets where it encourages you to look around the level, because there's hidden doors you can open, and some of them which you can only shoot, which is very interesting, which is pretty good Easter eggs and helps you find power-ups, but be careful. Always check rooms in case there's hidden doors where your enemies might come out. Like right here, I wasn't ready. With 32 levels and non-stop action, this game does really well. For a game that is just at least 1 year and is basically the same game, but with just different enemies and some little few details, this game actually does pretty well. Like some levels, there's like some boss battles, which can be extremely difficult, but this game is a challenge, like, which is nice and really surprising. And the game runs pretty good. There were some bugs when I was playing, but I'm playing the PS4 version, so I never played the original Doom versions. But looking at this game now, I can see why this series was a big hit at the time for this first-person shooter genre. It made it what it is today. And I know one thing: if the internet was around back then, or as big it was today, this game would have not got the praise it would have had, because people would have said it's the same game over again. It's just a copy and paste. This game was lucky to release by the time video games were not that popular yet, when it was only for kids. If it did now, I don't know. But overall, Doom 2 is a masterpiece. I think it's better than the first one. This game's a 10 out of 10.